I'd like to read a few excerpts, if I could, for you from the somewhat silly section. This is from a story called The Bubba Jim Chronicles, which is all true. If you think you have or have had a neighbor from hell, I promise you, mine was worse. Okay, so here's an excerpt from that story. My first real conversation with him was when we both seemed to get home from work at the same time. I got out of my car, he got out of his truck, and we both headed toward our houses. I could tell he was staring at me, so I finally looked over. "How's it going?" I asked. "Fell out a tree," he replied. "I'm sorry?" "Fell out a tree. 1 minute I'm way up there." He pointed upwards, so I was clear on the direction he was referring to. "And the next, pow, I'm on the dirt." "Well, I'm glad you're all right," I said, not sure if I meant it. "Well, hell," he said, "God made dirt, and dirt don't hurt, right?" I was going to tell him that I didn't think that his scenario necessarily fit the children's rhyme, but thought better of it. He was looking up at the 2 tall trees I had in my front yard. "I can trim those for you," he offered. I declined. So here's a section of a story from the somewhat serious section of the book. This is just about a guy that I spotted in the grocery store. He was just an old man, a stranger, standing in front of me in line at the grocery store, but I immediately felt drawn to him. I wanted to sit with him at a bar and listen to his life story. I couldn't help but stare. His dripping face was weathered with life. He looked down mostly. In the moments where he braved looking up, it was as if his eyes had to cut through memories of loss, a dead wife, a runaway daughter, a missed fortune. He had a t-shirt on which sported a cartoon man, hair frazzled, on a surfboard. His pants were silver and dressy, and his shoes were shiny black. As he dug into his wallet for money, his left knee jerked in and out, perhaps moving to the beat of a song he had forgotten long ago. And then, of course, there's the somewhat sappy section, which are a bunch of poems that I wrote. This is a portion of a poem that I wrote called Harmonica Farewell, and it's about the last time that I saw my grandmother. "Old lady on the porch, what you smiling for? Don't you know your time is near, and I fear we'll never see you here again? And what's that in your hand? A harmonica? Is your plan to take one last stand and replace the creaks of your rocker with some sweet-ass melodies about felonies or a life you wish you've led?